about heat, which is the first lesson of class 10 heat. What concepts we are going to learn? What is heat? What is the study of heat flow? And what is temperature? Finally, the clear difference in between these two terms, heat and temperature. And the study of heat is known as calorimetry. What? Calorimetry. Calorie, which is the term related to heat, and metry means measurement of heat. Of course, the quantity of heat flow, the measurement of heat, calorimetry. This heat lesson comes under the category of calorimetry. In 1701, Newton scientist proposed 2 points by his practical experience. One is heat never flows colder body to hotter body. Of course, hot body. That means vice versa, heat always flows hotter body to colder body. This is the conclusion. The first point, which was said by Newton, the great scientist Newton, you know well. Heat never flows colder body to hotter body. Always it flows. You know, by this point we can know the direction of heat, hotter body to colder body. The second one, heat is, you know, heat transformation. Heat flows, heat transit. That means transfer. Is always directly proportional to the difference in temperature. Let me repeat again. The measurement of heat is known as calorimetry. About heat, the direction of flow of heat was proposed by Newton in 1701. You know well. You know, there is no need a practical to know about the heat, heat flow. It always flows hotter body to colder body. This was said by Newton. And second one, heat transfer takes place in between two different temperature bodies. Now, I have understood well. Now, we are going to learn 2 more activities. That means, one is very simple activity, second one also, in order to know about the temperature and heat. Here, a simple activity is there to know about heat transfer. Now, you have to take one wooden piece iron ball. It's an iron ball. To keep in refrigerator about 15 minutes and later take it out. Now ask your friend, do hold in his hands how he is feeling. Yeah, both are too cold, and some cooling difference also there in between wooden piece and metal ball. Actually, what happens there in fridge? Both wooden piece and metallic ball, like iron ball, lose its heat energy to the refrigerator. That's why they attain cold state. When you hold, you felt cold because of your body temperature 37 degrees centigrade transfers to, that heat transfers to wooden piece and metallic ball. That means heat flows. When you relatively compare it to the wooden piece, metal ball and your finger, which is the hot body among these three? Your finger. Obviously, which is at 37 degrees centigrade. It's a normal temperature, or 98.4 Fahrenheit of human normal, normal state of human body. In which point Newton carried out that always heat transfers. Hotter body to colder body. Where is hotter body? Finger. That means your body. Heat flows to the metal ball and to the wooden piece. Heat flows because which is the hotter body? Finger. Finger to wooden piece and finger to metal ball. That's why you are getting the feel of coldness. Here, heat transfers. Moreover, one more point. In this activity, you might have observed one more thing, that is wooden piece little bit low cold than metal ball. That means metallic ball or iron ball too colder than wooden piece. So what about the reason? Simple. Here the heat transfer to the finger to the wooden piece and finger to the metal ball. If you compare, finger to the metal ball heat transfer is too more than finger to wooden piece, which is clear. According to the Newton second point, what Newton said second point? What Newton said, the second point, heat flows and heat transfer always depends upon the objects, concerned objects. Here, two different objects are here. Two different, things we have taken. That what? Wooden piece and metal ball, iron ball. That means two different substances. Heat also flows in between two different substances. heat flows. The measurement of heat flow is different. Yes? Now, earlier we have learned when you hold these two objects, these two things in your hand, you might felt cold. When you compare again wooden piece to metal ball gives you more cold feeling. Why? Because heat transfers more rather than wooden piece. That's why you might feel too cold of metal ball or iron ball. As I said, we have justified 2 points what Newton said. Coming to some questions should be arised by you. Of course, your textbook maker asked some questions. Does heat transfer one body to another in all situations? And how far? Heat transfers. Very important 2 questions asked by your test man. Does heat transfer one body to another body in all situations? Absolutely no. And how far heat transfers? These questions will be clarified by the concept thermal equilibrium. What is the next concept? Thermal equilibrium. Have you understood this one? Active one, simple activity you can do in your home. Let's try. There is no need of lab. Thermal equilibrium. When 2 objects placed together thermal equilibrium. When 2 bodies are placed in thermal contact, you know well, heat always flows from hotter body to colder body. That's why heat energy will be transferred from hotter body to the colder body until a time same degree of hotness or same temperature. Let me define again, which is very important to know the status of temperature. By this one, we can define temperature easily. Thermal equilibrium, when 2 bodies are placed together in thermal contact, heat flows, the direction of heat should be hotter body to colder body. how far it flows? When two bodies, up to two bodies attain the same temperature. This is known as thermal equilibrium. From this, you can define temperature easily. Temperature means the degree of hotness or, of course, coldness. The clear definition will be given by the thermal equilibrium, which is the clear measurement to the temperature. Up to what extent heat flows? Up to attain same temperature or same degree of hotness. You might have learned the clear difference between the heat and the temperature. Temperature is nothing but the degree of hotness or coldness. Coming to the heat means one source of energy. By flowing one object to another object, it creates temperature, hotness or coldness. The degree of hotness or coldness is known as temperature. Again, you may remind, always, irrespective of this definition, one kid can say that always heat flows from hot body to cold body. Yes. Until the two bodies attain the same degree of hotness or coldness, nothing but temperature. Until get same temperature. Let me take two bodies at, one body. One body at 50 degrees centigrade, another body at 20 degrees centigrade. Of course, degree Celsius is nothing but the easiest unit of temperature. We are going to learn about units also clearly. That's why we are indicating degree centigrade or degree Celsius. Among these two objects, which one has more temperature? That means more degree of hotness. This one. Obviously, heat flows this body to this body, which is at lower temperature, which is at higher temperature. Obviously, heat flows higher temperature to lower temperature or higher degree of hotness to lower degree of hotness. Yes, heat flown up to get same temperature. That means here to here, this is 35 degrees centigrade, this is 35 degrees centigrade up to. Then heat flows 15 degrees centigrade to this one. These two bodies, of course, these two are in thermal contact. Do assume like this. Up to 35 degrees to attain. That means, these two bodies at same temperature. When two bodies at same temperature, heat never flows. Because there is no temperature difference. Can you say which is hotter, which is colder? Of course, relatively, if you relatively comparing to these two bodies, which is hotter, which is lower? No. These two bodies are at same temperature. Heat flows until when two objects are in thermal contact up to say attain same temperature, same degree of hotness. Got it? Equal temperatures. When objects got equal temperature, there will be no more heat flow. Got it? Yes. Coming to the definition, when two bodies are placed in thermal contact, heat energy flows. Hotter body to colder body. The Celsius unit is degree Celsius, which is indicated by like this. And temperature SI units Kelvin. Kelvin. One scientist name system international system units. SI unit Kelvin. Celsius unit degree Celsius. Got it? So far you learned what is heat, what is temperature, what is the difference between heat and temperature. Heat is simply one source of energy. Temperature is nothing but temperature happens when heat flows to one body to another body. When heat flows, when temperature difference is there, in between two bodies definitely heat flows. When the bodies get same temperature, there will be no more heat flow. According to the Newton, there should be temperature difference occurs to heat flow, to heat transfer one body to another body. One more simple activity. Now, what has been given in your textbook? Andhra Pradesh Physical Science Textbook. Activity 2, which is also simple activity. Take 2 glass tumblers. Activity 2. Let me take 2 glass tumblers. Which one is filled with hot water and put one laboratory thermometer. 2 glass tumblers, one glass tumbler, filled with hot water, one more is cold water, and you dip one laboratory thermometer, which is, of course, thermometer contains mercury. You know that, and one more glass tumbler filled with cold water. Cold water means which is at 0 degrees centigrade. Obviously here mercury level and mercury should be at room temperature. You have to notice this thing, which is about 24 degrees centigrade. Room temperature varies 21 to 24 degrees centigrade. Our body and of course this room temperature. Our body temperature is different, 37 degrees centigrade. and this room temperature varies in between 21 degrees to 24 degrees centigrade. And room temperature at 24 degrees centigrade we may feel cold. Rather than that, we may feel too hot because heat flows. Heat getting. And coming to the hot water and cold water. Now, laboratory thermometer kept inside. Obviously, you know well, hot water should be at 100 degrees centigrade and mercury level, mercury is at 24 degrees centigrade. Heat flows 100 degrees centigrade to 24 degrees centigrade. That means mercury level goes up. Here heat flows, hotter body. Which is the hotter body here? Hot water. And relatively comparing, mercury is cold. Heat flows, hotter body, here hotter body relatively water, hot water to mercury. You may form in your home, which is simple activity. And coming to the cold water which is at 0 degrees centigrade, the ice melts, temperature remains same. Ice cube, the ice melts, temperature remains same. Ice cube temperature 0 degrees centigrade, when it melts, water temperature also, cold water temperature also 0 degrees centigrade. Coming to the mercury temperature 24 degrees centigrade. Which is hotter body? Mercury. Am I right or not? Mercury, which is at 24 degrees centigrade. So, heat flows 24 to 0 degrees centigrade and mercury level got down because it lost heat. These two simple activities can be carried out in your home to know about heat and temperature. Finally, heat always transits the body which is at higher degree of hotness to the body at lower degree of hotness and coldness. Lower degree of hotness or coldness. It always transits. Yes, the body which is at hot. That's why heat flown 100 to 24 until they get equilibrium state, and here heat flown mercury to another body cold water until get equilibrium state. So how can we find equilibrium state? The steadiness of mercury level. Stable, mercury level should be stable. That means their equilibrium state happens. Steadiness means stable. Never goes up and never goes down. That means mercury got steadiness, thermal equilibrium. That means same temperature, two bodies. The two bodies at same temperature. When two bodies got same temperature, heat never flows. You can't determine the heat flow direction. Okay? And have you understood well? Simple. You know, heat always flows hotter body to colder body. Whatever you take, whatever the experiment will be done by you, you can clarify Newton's first point. Heat units. Units of heat.
ఈ క్లాస్ చెప్తున్నానండి.
Next.
On the coming class అదండి ఇదంటారు కదా.
Okay students, you might have learned heat basic concepts. In next class, we are going to learn about the relation between calorie and joule.